Welcome back to the RAL Room Podcast, your go-to show for all things residential assisted living, where real estate, community, and care come together to build cash flow and impact.
We're your host. I'm Dr. Alex Schlow.
I'm Charlie Cameron, and today's episode is a banger. We've got seriously exciting industry updates and a few things you need to know if you're an investor or operator in this space.
Yeah, and of course, we have some huge wins from our RAL Room community members. You'll want to stick around to hear what people are doing. They're raising millions of dollars. They're buying homes. They're building new facilities. They're forming new partnerships. It's real. It's happening, and you could be next.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive into what's happening out there in the world of senior living. First up, this one is super interesting.
Yeah, Charlie, this is crazy. There is an article that was looking at Texas A&M is teaming up with a developer to launch a 14-acre senior living community right next to campus. Think about it, man. Retirees living in high-end apartments and memory care homes, but hopping on like campus shuttles, maybe auditing classes, throwing some ragers, staying
Frat
mentally and
parties, yeah.
socially active with the students. Yeah, for sure, man. It's pretty wild to see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I think there's something about it where the university sees the trends. And so they're essentially making a big investment into senior living themselves, which I think will pay off. But it speaks to the trend where senior living isn't just about care, it's also about creating a lifestyle for seniors, which is cool. And that really aligns with what we're building in residential assisted living as well: dignity, activity, and community, just in a smaller, more personal setting.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see like some of these big players building next to universities. Makes me think that we should ask, how do we inject more lifestyle? How do we inject more community into our residential homes and our projects that we're working on as well?
Yeah, for sure. And now another article we want to touch on, this is one we shared within the RAL Room from NIC MAP. More about demand and supply and not enough building. The biggest challenge in senior housing is still a massive shortage of supply.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And that's straight from Nick Map's latest outlook that demand is surging. Older adults are living longer, needing more care, seeking quality housing. But at the same time, construction starts have plummeted. We're not building anywhere near what's needed. I feel like we're just a broken record. Every time we
Yeah,
do one of these roundup
seriously.
episodes,
Yeah.
there's more and more data pointing to what's needed.
Yeah, it turns out that most of the kind of investors in the industry that are doing the bigger assisted living stuff are just avoiding new construction, and they're choosing acquisition over development. So I think it speaks to two things. One, you can still do well by acquiring existing and improving existing, but also if you're developing, you're like the only one. So that asset is going to be worth a lot in the future as supply continues to be underpaced by demand. And so I think the writing's on the wall that cap rates are going to continue to compress in assisted living over the next decade, 2 decades.
Yeah, and the cap rates are going to compress. The NOI is going to continue to go up because resident rates are going to have to go higher due to the supply demand mismatch. And you throw that in with the skyrocketing demand, it's just crazy to see the opportunity with assisted living right now. And even small scale projects, smaller residential assisted living homes, like these are just huge opportunities that can't come fast enough and can't serve this high need market quick enough. And so we're going to just see this to continue to skyrocket over time.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Charlie.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I was just going to say, hey, how about we share some wins from the RAL Room community? And the first one is a big one. Took a lot of work. Let's talk a little bit more about Aaron and Andrea Mean and the raise for Everwood Reserve.
Yeah, a lot of work might be an understatement, but yeah, Everwood Reserve is a 32 bed, 216 bed memory care luxury assisted living development in Tomball, Texas by Aaron and Andrea. And we've been lucky enough to be a part of their project. We were brought on as partners to help raise the total amount of 2.8 million required for this ground up development, which is their first residential assisted living operation, by the way, which is totally wild.
Yeah, Aaron and AJ are just absolutely amazing and so grateful for them and their journey in the RAL Room. And I think they initially had the same thought as a lot of folks who are joining the RAL Room of, hey, how am I going to raise that capital? Money is like such a big hurdle, a big factor to figure out. And so grateful that we were able to partner with them and help them raise over 2.8 million for that luxury memory care development. And the best part is they're projecting investor returns of over 20%, which is crazy and such an awesome opportunity now and for the future as well.
And don't worry if you guys missed this round of investing, because we've got more investment opportunities coming up. In fact, quite a few potentially. If you're ready to go from a podcast listener to an investor, maybe you're not ready to start your own home yet, but you want to get involved, you want to see how the sausage is made, you can shoot us an email at team@theralroom.com and we'll respond there.
Yeah, absolutely. Or go to the website, theralroom.com, and click invest with us. A lot of different ways to contact us, but we're telling you, going to be some incredible opportunities coming up soon you're going to want to get in on. All right, next up, let's talk about Melanie. She just bought a lease-to-operator home in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and has partnered with Legato Living to run the operation. She's partnered with an operator. Crazy thing about this, for folks who don't know, is Charlie, Luke, and myself were actually under contract on the same exact home, and Melanie was able to get it across the finish line. So we're really excited for her.
Yeah, this was interesting. And I feel like we owe our listeners an explanation. At the time, the state of South Carolina, we had to educate them on what residential assisted living is. They would not agree with us that their requirements for assisted living did not dictate that we needed to have individual units. So they were looking at the property as apartments within a house and saying, hey, you got to add all these firewalls, you got to have all these restrictive requirements. It was going to make it cost prohibitive. When we're like, no, there's still only one kitchen. It's a community. It's not individual dwellings. We kept following up with the state after we terminated the contract. And eventually they changed their tune to what is actually written in their codes, by the way. Not to dig on South Carolina. Hopefully they don't listen to this. But anyway, Melanie loved the lease-to-operator model, which is how we got started. So they decided to basically pick it up and run with it. We've now moved into, we want to operate as well. It's a good start for them, and they've closed, and now they're starting renovations. They're going to get it ready.
Yeah, it's so cool to see that project come into fruition, and awesome to see them be able to partner with a fantastic operator with Legato who's going to help handle the care. Just a win-win for everybody. We also have a huge step for Jhuma and Rachel. They are under contract on land as well. They partnered within the RAL Room. They met, they partnered, and they are getting ready to build a memory care facility and working on all that fun stuff in terms of new development. They had a big vision and some serious execution, and we're excited for them as well.
Yeah, this is what happens when you surround yourself with other people with the same goals that are action takers. You start actually moving fast and accomplishing things, which we talk about a lot on our RAL Room webinars when people are new to us and trying to figure out if this is a good fit. If you're an action taker and you want to be in a community with people who think the same way, who have the same goals, who understand the importance of this model and the impact you could make, yeah, it's a good fit, because you might form a partnership like Jhuma and Rachel, and then it's off to the races.
Yeah, I think real quick, I think we should hit on the different ways that you can get involved investing in assisted living, because a lot of times folks still have that hang up of feeling like they have to do everything. And maybe that is, you want to own the real estate, you want to own the operations, you want to have all the control. That's awesome. That's a great way to do it. You can lease to an operator like Melanie's doing. That's an awesome way to do it as well. You can form a partnership and maybe you just bring the capital or the money into the deal and everyone else runs the project. You can invest passively like folks were doing in Everwood Reserve deal with Aaron and Andrea. There's just so much opportunity in the assisted living space that you can really flex to the time commitments that you have or the time that you have available and the finances that you have available, and just make it really tailored to what you're looking for in your experience.
Yeah. And we say this a lot. There's not one model that fits everyone. So you need to get in and figure that out. And that's part of what we do, is help you figure out which path is going to make the most sense. Not to say it can't change. Ours has changed, but there's a likely first path for most people, depending on your situation, your location.
Yeah, exactly right. And we have another win. Jen just got her SBA loan approved through one of our partner banks, which is awesome as well. So it has just been a big month and a half in the RAL Room.
Yeah, there's been a ton going on. Love to see it. All 111 members now getting after it and starting to achieve their goals in assisted living. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, Charlie, let's talk a little bit more about some of the projects that we're working on with Open Range Capital. Got a lot going on. It's been a fun experience. We are working on a development in Winchester. We're working on a partnership opportunity in Missouri. We're also working on this potential New Orleans deal. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about what we're working on in New Orleans and working on a letter of intent for a facility there?
Yeah, so we've submitted an LOI, though we need to make some serious revisions, it seems, to make it work. So we're working on those, but this opportunity here would be kind of 60-ish beds with a lot of room for improvement. The operations are good. They're below market rates, the occupancy is below market, and really the community could use some updates. Nothing crazy, but some just updates with flooring and getting rid of wallpaper and all this kind of stuff to modernize as well as provide a little better care. And it could be a really great opportunity to create a lot of value for that community. So we're looking at that. We'll see. Keep your fingers and toes crossed because there might be a lot of work involved, but we're very interested in it because it's an existing operation that we can then improve.
Yeah, absolutely. And it comes back to kind of relationships, which you've hit on a lot already through this podcast episode. Just for this project, we'd be partnering with an awesome operator and working together to make this a top tier facility. And so we're really excited about that. It's a little bit out of the residential assisted living space in terms of size, but as we all know, the need is there for seniors as a whole. Let's pivot, Charlie, to talk a bit about our Winchester, Virginia new development. We've had quite the experience there. We're still working on that 10 acres, 4, maybe 5 homes planned for that space, 16 bed, 16 bath. We're deep in the weeds with civil engineering, with the architect team, with general contractors, with the project manager, and we are learning a lot about how much time, effort, energy, money, and work goes into pre-construction, in fact, pre-closing on the land is something that I don't think we fully understood what all it takes to just get ready to
Yeah.
close and then get the shovel ready for breaking ground.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have this idea that things are going to be costly, but then when you start paying the bills, it gets a lot more real. So yeah, we're tens of thousands of dollars and a couple months into due diligence here, which has been very interesting, very eye-opening for us. We're rather new to the development side, not to real estate, but to development side of things. So we've been learning a ton, which is good. We're going to still see. We think we can get 4 homes, maybe 5. But, in order for this project to work for us, the numbers have to pencil out for a initial phase of 2 homes. So that's really where we're at, is trying to gather all those numbers up, get multiple quotes and figure out, hey, does this really work? And then make the determination on pushing forward or what kind of actions we take.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great that we have the opportunity to document our journey here on the podcast and for folks to just realize how much work goes into these new development projects. And so if you're thinking about doing a new development or getting started, just know it does take a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a big team before you even know, hey, is this land really feasible to build on? And definitely a good takeaway for folks. But that hard work, that time, the money, that's what separates the good projects from the great ones. And putting that work up front is to make sure it's a win-win for the community, for the seniors, for our investors. We're just really looking forward to the opportunity. So a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah. All right. I think we could probably wrap this up. So what's the takeaway today? I think it really comes down to, of course, as usual, the industry is continuing to heat up super fast. People who are starting now are going to be way ahead than those that are starting later.
Yeah, absolutely. Residential assisted living, it's not just a theory, it's real, it's working, it's changing lives, it's delivering awesome returns on investment. It's great.
Yeah. And like we said, we have investment opportunities coming up. You guys can also join us on one of our free webinars. If you're interested in learning more about the steps to opening up an assisted living home, or if you're interested in learning more about the RAL Room community and whether that's a good fit we call it to speed up your success in assisted living, then you can check that out. You can just go to the ralroom.com/webinar. You can register for our next one there. We do it every 2 weeks. Just a quick update on the Mastermind itself. We're now at 111 members and constant communication and collaboration. We still have our 6 live calls every month, and it's just continuing to grow in value. Anything to add,
Yeah, it
Alex?
was. Yeah, I was gonna say really cool. We got the first event coming up in November, which is gonna be a
All right.
great time. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And we sold out all the spots we had for that really fast, which was really exciting. And we're working on, hey, planning something larger in 2026. So more to come. That'll be opened up to RAL Room members, and we're looking forward to that as well. And I did want to say, man, we had a really cool Q&A call last week, or really almost like a brainstorming session with some of our members, and man, that was fun. So it's really cool to see and to just all get together and work through problems and things that we're working through and figure out solutions. And it saves time, it saves money, it saves energy for folks when you partner with a community of people who are doing it and holding you accountable and are helping you not make the same mistakes that they did. Oh man, it's fun. I look forward to the calls every time.
Absolutely. Me too. It's so fun just being surrounded by like-minded people who are doing the thing and have the same beliefs. So anyway, y'all, if you want to get in touch with us, go to theralroom.com or email us at team@theralroom.com. We'd love to chat. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the RAL Room Podcast.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to the RAL Room Assisted Living Podcast. We hope you found today's episode insightful. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a raving 5-star review. And a quick review helps more listeners find the show and more seniors get the exceptional care they deserve.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And just so you know, we have prepared some free resources for you to help you succeed in residential assisted living in addition to this podcast. Head over to theralroom.com, that is the RAL Room.com, to download our free 10-step guide to launch your first or next residential assisted living home, or our 10 reasons to passively invest in residential assisted living ebooks.
And if you're ready to take the next step and make real moves in the RAL industry, join us in the RAL Room Mastermind. It is an exclusive community where we deep dive into everything you need to launch and grow your own residential assisted living business. You'll get access to recorded courses, live calls with industry experts, a RAL calculator, resources and tools, like-minded entrepreneurs, funding opportunities, and an expert networking community to help you along your journey.
Be sure to join us next time on the RAL Room Podcast as we continue to explore the world of residential assisted living with more great guests. See you then.